just going to show you the record. This run is extremely RNG oriented. There's a lot of tricks that are basically can't be done unless you get the RNG that you need. And because of that, it would be a lot easier for me to just share the record rather than do a bunch of runs that just die immediately. Alright, so here we go. Sorry, you're not gonna really be able to hear audio, but the audio doesn't really matter for this record. So obviously boss rush, I might as well explain here. For boss rush, obviously in-game timer, we use this just because it's consistent with loading, and obviously you do every single boss up till Gideon 3 in a row with all the title cards and stuff. So what you saw me do right there is a fast strong combo into a thrust, and then that left Matt on the ground and I pounded him. So what happens is when you kill an enemy on the ground, it actually transitions into the next boss fight faster. So anytime when you can consistently get an enemy to die on the ground, we want to do that. Unfortunately, this is only really consistent for Matt and Lucas at the moment. There's not really many consistencies with other fights. It only saves about a quarter of a second to a full second. So there's Matt. I'll show that again, and then I'll just let you watch through Lucas, because it's generally the same exact thing. We run up to Lucas here, 2 fast strong combos, thrust, and then, you know, pound him on the ground a few times. For Lynette, we actually do fast, strong to keep your momentum, and then thrust, because we don't need to do that much damage to Lynette, so we don't have to worry about all the combos. Anything really works on Todd as long as you hit him with a few strong attacks to stun him so that he won't do his electricity. And then obviously you see me hitting him with a trash can here. That's just fast. So, okay, this is going to be the first thing I'm going to have to explain here. So, I'm here, and if you know the Roxy Arena in Boss Rush and in the main game, you start on the house side and you have to run all the way up to Roxy. That loses about a second. So what we do is we abuse a weird mechanic with this game where as long as you're as long as you're standing on an object, the moment you see this pop up, you can freely move to anywhere on the screen lock. So I use a specific sound cue in the music, which unfortunately you can't hear, but I use that, and then the moment I hear that, I double tap, because I use D-pad to run over, and as you'll see right here, I start the fight right on Roxy. And I can immediately get all of those hits in for a relatively clean fight. That right there is actually the first fight with a lot of big RNG. Basically, anytime you knock Roxy down, and the chance for this sort of fluctuates depending on how much damage you've dealt to Roxy. Whenever she gets back up, she has a chance to just frame one teleport away from you. Thank you, Ken, for the raid, my dude. Oh my god. I'm doing an analysis for Wanter of the world record right now. Because I'm doing an analysis of the record, that's why I'm talking. He wanted to see the record, so I was like, let's do an analysis, because I've never done one, you know? Why not? But Okay, what I was explaining here... Anal light. Anyways, what I was explaining here is anytime that Roxy falls on the ground and gets back up, she has, within a 1 frame window, you can hit her out of that, but it's completely RNG whether or not she will teleport away and then do her clone attack. If she does her clone attack, it loses about 8 seconds, so you really don't want the clone attack, and unfortunately there's not much you can do to prevent it if you're doing this strategy where you stand on the box to get more speed. Alright, so next fight, I don't really need to explain this one. Roboto 1 is pretty straightforward. All I will say is 1 trash can swing will do 3 because you're at max level, so you want to just do 3 here. Don't do any more because that wastes time. They hit the ground later. You don't want to do that. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to let it play and then I'm going to go back and explain it. Okay. So for every 1 push of the attack button, you swing 3 times. Yes, that is true. As long as you have the unlock for it. So what you saw me do right there, and what you probably know from watching Ken's stream, you can kill the robot really fast by using something called rebound damage. And rebound damage, first of all, it takes, for some reason during this fight, you have to set up rebound damage. And to set up rebound damage, you have to let yourself get hit off the wall once in order to let yourself get hit off again and actually do damage to the hands. So if I can slow this down, let's use... I think 0.25 might be a little too slow. Whatever, this works. So I run over here. This triggers the hand right here to be like, it's going to back up, it's going to do fists. So it's going to launch me with the fist. Right now, you can see it right there. I do a jump as I'm moving this direction, which is the opposite direction from the hand. And what this does is launches me so that I rebound. There's the rebound off of the side of the screen. So now I've gotten that rebound damage. I have it all set up. So all I got to do is do that again, which you can see right here. Obviously, we're doing it again. I just sort of stand still because as long as you're around this area, this hand will just end up hitting you. And again, jump, rebound. Now we're doing the max damage. I'm not going to explain the coding behind rebound because I don't think I have it fully correct. So all you need to know is that's how you do it. All right. Oh, twins is a fun one. I'm going to go in slow-mo, but I'm not going to... it won't take that long to explain. It's just... looking at it fast is... yes, something else. Oh, wait, actually... oh, okay, I don't do the thrust kill here. I forgot. So that's actually fairly self-explanatory then. You go down, you use your assist, which is Nega Knives. You go over here, hold the twins in place here with a few light strong combos, and then Nega Knives just kills them. I thought I did a more complicated strat, but no. We're good. NegaScott is one of the it's a fight that has a lot of RNG if you don't time your thrust right, but as long as you time your thrust right, he almost never has a chance to attack you. You just want to keep thrusting over and over. This is not a sexual innuendo, I swear. This is just a strat for the boss. Alright. This is a big one. I'm going to let it play, and then again I'm going to explain it. This is called 390 Gideon, by the way. So that's not 390 Gideon, that's a normal hit. And that's 390 Gideon. And then obviously the fight's finished off like that. This is actually the only part in this record where I legitimately lose time, and I lose about I'd say I lose about 3 seconds to this fight because I didn't get it over here. It's a little faster to get it immediately because then you could just do another thrust over here and then kill him on the ground. Not that I can complain because I'm also the only person who's ever done this strat. So yeah, it saves 15 seconds, and only NegaScott can do that because of the assist. Hey Cody, what's up? We're just explaining a speedrun. Okay. So I won't go into slow-mo for the first hit. All that's really of note here is I was trying to do the thrust right as Nega Knives hit him, so both of them would hit at the same time. It didn't work, so what I had to do is instead wait for him to get up, do a double jump so he blocks. This prevents him from going invincible or doing any meteors. It's called a Gideon lock, basically. And then I line him up right. He jumps over me, which is actually super lucky for this, because all I have to do is move here and wait for Nega Knives. And then you see it right here, 750, 120. So 120 from Nega Knives, 75 from the thrust. You play again. The numbers are all on top of each other, but you can see another 75, another 120. That's because Nega Knives actually hits twice. And then thrust, as a consequence of Nega Knives hitting, also hits twice. So all in total, you're doing 390 damage in less than a second to the boss. I hope that you got all that. I might end up uploading this Twitch VOD actually, because I don't... Okay. All I really need to say here, because you're just going to see me grab the love sword and do a bunch of slashes. But right here, right after phase 2 goes, I'm going to dash up into this spot. You can go anywhere around here as long as you're here. And what that's going to do is when he gets down, I'm going to count my slashes, which means I'm going to count how much damage I'm doing to him. Well, okay, not the damage, but like the numbers that come up. So you're going to see I'm going to count to 5 right here. I might accidentally hit him another time in this record, but you only need to hit him 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you see a value of damage that's different from the other values, you know you've done the max damage to the hands, so you want to immediately stop trying to slash him. If you keep slashing him, he's going to go into electricity, he's going to open his heart and do the Scully thing. He's not going to do the fist slam, and the fist slam's what you want because that's how you hit the heart and that's how you beat the boss. You can only damage this boss legitimately from the heart, in case you didn't know. So we stop there, and then we just cut him up. And since NegaScott does so much damage, we actually do a 1 cycle here. The only characters that can do 1 cycles are NegaScott, Steven, Wallace, and Ramona. Ramona's 1 cycle requires a bit more precision, though. And then final thing here. Obviously, we just completely obliterate Gideon 3 here. I actually lose a little bit of time on this fight to just how much he flings around. But as you can see, I'm dashing into him to do crit damage. Whenever you're dashing into an enemy and then you attack them, you do slightly more damage as long as you were still sliding during the move. The only thing I left to explain is right here. I'll play in slow-mo real quick. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Okay, so watch what I do at the very beginning of this fight before, rather than rushing straight at him, watch what I do. You see it right here. So you see for a fraction of a second there, I'm holding up and then I dash at him, specifically when he starts dashing at me. For some reason, if you enter this fight at around anywhere less than I'd say 450 on the timer, if you just try to immediately run at him, he's going to jump back and he's going to slash. And he's completely immune during that jump back slash, waste a lot of time. If you get hit, you're just like, sorry, mate. Game over. So yeah, that is basically all I needed to say. One little thing to keep in mind here, I got stuck on it, but luckily I recovered before he got up. But you can actually get stuck on this small little area of the stage. As if you're standing all the way up here, you actually get stuck here for some reason. I don't really know why. But there we go. 4:12.96. Important to note that the record before this was a 4:29, also by me. I literally PB'd by an insane amount on this just because of getting 390 Gideon, because it saves like 15 whole seconds. But also this run was cleaned up a lot. I'm proud of like this run in general, just honestly.